Do you hear the beating of wings? Do you see a flock of birds circling in the moonlit sky? Are they crows? Ravens? Or something much, much worse? Cast out from hell itself, they are coming for you. Not to kill you. No, nothing so prosaic. Instead, they are here for your identity, your sense of self, your soul. Maybe not tonight. Maybe you will escape their talons for now. But once they have your scent, they won't forget you. And, sooner or later, they will come for you to sate their hunger and to make you one of them. One of the Sluagh. The Sluagh come from the folktales of Scotland and Ireland. Their name, Sluagh, literally translates as host, because these creatures are never encountered singly. They hunt in packs. Once, long ago, they were considered a kind of fairy, a dark fae, driven mad and beyond all reason and mercy. But legends change, and the origins of the Sluagh became something darker and much more disturbing. The Sluagh were once humans, unrepentant sinners whose crimes were so vile that they were rejected not just by heaven, but also by hell. Even the earth rejects them, and these spirits swarm through the air, unable to ever again set foot upon the ground. Just how evil does one have to be turned away by the Lord of the Underworld himself? The Sluagh's malevolence is an almost physical thing, and you will feel their presence long before you see them. The hairs on the back of your neck will stand on end, your blood will chill, and your stomach will rebel. But what will you see when you turn? First, they seem like a flock of large black birds, whirling in the night sky. A conspiracy of ravens, or a murder of crows, perhaps. Our choice of collective nouns speaks to their sinister nature. They flap, they screech, and then they descend. As they get closer, they become more human, or at least more human-like. Haggard and thin, skin barely clinging to bone, their frames distorted by bird-like features. Wings form a ragged cloak, hands and feet are claws or talons, gnashing, pointed teeth protrude unevenly from a vicious beak. They look pitiable and terrifying all at once. The Sluagh was said to fly in from the west to steal a dying soul before it was given its last rites. To this day, doors and windows on the west side of houses are kept closed if there is a sick or dying person at home. But the Sluagh are not opposed to taking the souls of the happy, healthy and living either. Those souls taste all the sweeter, though taking such souls requires more effort on the part of the Sluagh. And they do not always act alone. Sometimes they force other humans to join them in their acts of depravity, though those brave men and women will do their best to rebel against their captors. In the early 1900s, W.Y. Evans-Wentz travelled through Ireland, Scotland and England, collecting local first-hand accounts of the fairy folk, publishing them in his book, The Fairy Faith in Celtic Countries. In Barra in Scotland, he interviewed one Marion MacLean, and this is what she had to say. The Sluagh used to travel after nightfall, and more particularly about midnight. You'd hear them going in fine weather, against a wind like a covey of birds. And they were in the habit of lifting the men from South Uist For the hosts need men to help in shooting their arrows from their bows against women in the act of milking cows, or against any person working at night in a house over which they pass. And I have heard of good sensible men whom the hosts took, shooting a horse or cow in place of the person ordered to be shot. There was a man who had only one cow and daughter. The daughter was milking the cow at night when the hosts were passing, and that human being whom the hosts had lifted with them was her father's neighbour. And this neighbour was ordered by the hosts to shoot the daughter as she was milking. But, knowing the father and daughter, he shot the cow instead. There are a couple of ways in which you might, inadvertently, attract the attentions of the Sluagh. One is by simply saying the word Sluagh. So if this ends up being my last video for this channel, you'll know why. The second way to call the Sluagh is through an overwhelming sense of hopelessness, the crushing weight of sadness or loss. We've all heard it said that a person can die of a broken heart. But is it the heartbreak itself that kills? Or does the heartbreak simply call out to another, winged agent of destruction? Only the dead themselves could say, and once their souls have been claimed, there is no mercy and no escape to the underworld. Instead, they are doomed to join the ranks of the Sluagh, stealing souls for all eternity. But there is one way to dissuade the Sluagh, one way to turn them away from you once they have your soul in their sights. And that way is to offer up another as a sacrifice in your place. Mind you, if you are the kind of person willing to condemn another to eternal torment, then perhaps your soul belongs among the unrepentant, unforgiven Sluagh after all. And rather than escaping, you've simply delayed the inevitable. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and comment down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to share more legendary monsters with you soon.